Subscribe to our channel and help us to spread the word. Catholic Meditation, January 13th, 2024, The Light of Hope, from Undesirable to Sin. In those days Jesus went out again to the seashore. All the people came to him, and he taught them. The ebb and flow of the waves bring back to my memory those days when on the seashore you taught us and opened our hearts to marvelous horizons. My Master, I approach you once again to listen to you, to learn, and to nourish my soul with your words, your presence, and the strength of your love. Lord Jesus, come near to us again and stir the hearts of people so that everyone comes to you and finds the meaning of their living and dying. These precisely what happened to Levi or Matthew, the chief tax collector, who according to the teachings of the scribes and Pharisees would be the chief of sinners, undesirable man, and an outcast in the eyes of the people and Yahweh. St. Mark writes, as he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the tax booth. He said to him, "Follow me." And he rose and followed him. Truly, my Master, this moment deserves a good photograph or a marvelous painting that immortalizes the moment. Your presence, your call, a single word from you, is enough to draw out of the deepest well the one who seems lost and without hope. Follow me. And Levi tore off the chains that bound him. Follow me. And Matthew regained the sense of his life. Follow me, and the trust, forgiveness, and love that you showed Jesus made Levi the tax collector, Matthew the apostle and evangelist. And the gospel continues, and as he reclined at the table in his house, many tax collectors and sinners were reclining with Jesus and his disciples, for there were many who followed him. You come to sit at the table with me. You come to my house. You want to meet my friends. You don't mind that I am a sinner because you say to me, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." My mother, you come to seek me and say to me, "Come with me. I will take you to Jesus." Don't be afraid. He understands you, forgives you. Trust in him, follow him. In this brief guided meditation, we will continue with a theological commentary on the passage MK 2:13-17. The passage from Mark presents a significant episode in the ministry of Jesus, his calling of Levi, also known as Matthew, a tax collector, to follow him as a disciple. The event triggers controversy between Jesus and the scribes and Pharisees, who question his choice of companionship and his willingness to eat with sinners at Levi's house. The narrative begins with Jesus going again to the seashore, where he finds Levi sitting at the tax booth. Jesus simply says to him, "Follow me," and Levi rises and follows him. This act of following Jesus implies an immediate and radical response from Levi, who leaves his occupation and responds to Jesus' call. The next scene takes place at Levi's house, where Jesus sits down to eat with a group of people described as tax collectors and sinners. This choice of companionship prompts criticism from the scribes and Pharisees, who question Jesus' disciples about why their teacher associates with those considered morally questionable. Jesus' response is revealing and carries a profound theological lesson. He declares, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." With these words, Jesus not only defends his choice of companionship, but exposes the essence of his mission: to come and save those who recognize their need for redemption and forgiveness. From a theological perspective, this passage highlights the inclusive nature of Jesus' message and his willingness to seek and save those who are spiritually needy. The fact that Jesus chooses a tax collector as a disciple and shares a meal with those considered sinners shows that his love and grace are not limited by social or moral label. Furthermore, the analogy of the physician reinforces the idea that Jesus' mission is to heal and restore those who recognize their spiritual need. The sick are those who, by acknowledging their condition as sinners, are open to receiving the healing and forgiveness that Jesus offered. Jesus' response challenges the self-justification of the Pharisees and underscores the importance of humility and awareness of spiritual need to respond to Jesus' call. The message is clear. God's grace is available to all, and those who recognize their need are welcome in the kingdom. In summary, the passage from Mark provides us with a valuable theological lesson about Jesus' inclusive mission, his willingness to seek and save sinners, the importance of recognizing our spiritual need to respond to his call. It invites us to reflect on our attitude toward those we consider marginalized and to remember the breadth of divine grace that calls us all to follow Jesus.